Hello, it's your #1 place for all things Hytale, and today, as you can see from the title of this video, it's that time of the month again. It's Blog Post Week. This month, Hytale treated us with another progress update, featuring all new improvements to character customization, a new look at a dynamic physics feature, and even an all-new look at Hytale, anime style. My name is Rinthin, and sit back, relax, and let's get right into the video. Starting off, the Hytale team starts by mentioning some under-the-hood improvements to Hytale's character design system, as well as a sneak peek at a new Hytale mechanic: throwable items. The Hytale team also closes off the introduction by mentioning that they have been hard at work this month by growing and adapting their team to match the evolving challenges of game development. They also mention the introduction of many new roles on their job page, which they posted on Twitter about a week ago. If you'd like to take a shot at becoming a part of Hytale Studios, feel free to check out the link in the description. Now, without further ado, let's get on to the good stuff. Here we have improvements to character customization, and boy do they have a lot to show off. It's been about a year since we've last seen an update with the character customization blog post. Not only have they improved visually since last year, but now with a complete overhaul with Hytale color variations, the possibilities are endless. As Hytale says, this makes it much easier for both ourselves and future modders to provide a suite of expressive options for players to adorn themselves. With this, they show us a beautiful picture of a couple who seem to be coming out of the Roman times. Take a look at those golden accents. Hytale mentioned previously, being able to create a new color variation for an asset, such as a piece of clothing, meant you would have to create an entirely new texture. Because of this, when you changed your hair color from black to blue, it would replace the entire texture. With this, they show an all-new picture of Propsy and a girl standing together, showing off the all-new dynamic colors. It's awesome to see the poses the two are making, with Propsy's hands on his hips, and the girl with her casually leaning against her clean-cut axe. This goes to show exactly how much detail Hytale is putting into their game. And trust me, there's even more coming up. Hytale continues explaining this new system in action. Its official name is called gradient mapping. They go into a bit more technical talk in this post, so we're gonna save that for later. But if you'd like to see everything, the blog post link will be down in the description. Here's another image of two characters standing in front of the neighborhood we saw in last month's blog post. We can see them emoting at one another. Again, we can notice the new color variations on the clothing, and it goes as far as to show the pink vibrant hair. Here they show how the gradient mapping looks in practice. You can see exactly how easy it will be to change any model to match any color as you please. Moving on, the Hytale team treats us with a brand new in-game video of the gradient mapping in action, but with hair. Take a look at this now. Not only is the simplistic changing of hair colors fascinating, but take a look at the beautiful interior. Looking closely, we can notice completely new blocks we've never seen before. On the left side of the room, we can notice at least 3 completely new furniture items. We can see a chest with a tattered cloth on top of it, behind it being a pot with an orange flower. Beside the plant, we can see a very beautiful lamp with a very unique design. As the video continues, we can notice what looks to be a cozy chair, and behind that, the windows. We also get our first look at curtains in Hytale. Now as the camera pans to the right side, there's a lot to take in. First we can see a dresser, which is hopefully interactable. In front of it, we can see what looks to be a bed frame, and in the foreground of the camera we can see a table holding what looks to be pots or candles. Whew, that was a lot. Moving on, Hytale continues to explain that their main focus is to allow players to express themselves using a wide variety of looks and styles. As well, they want to be able to empower modders to expand this set with their own creations. The introduction of gradient mapping will be able to take this even further. Every texture can be customized with a colored gradient in-game, and even more exciting, modders can include small customizable strips, such as the lines on tracksuit pants. And again, Hytale treats us with a beautiful look at the new colors in action, showing off a vibrant rainbow scarf and a beautiful vest. Another thing we can take from this screenshot is how the character is sitting on the blocks. Not only can you sit on benches, folks, but blocks are now on the radar as well. Hytale artist Steampunk Stein takes this a step further and brings us something we didn't know we needed, but it's an anime Trark. Just look at it. Stein brings a full example of some custom anime-inspired costumes. They are just beautiful. My personal favorite is the adorable Corgi on the left side of the screen. Just take a look at him. He's so cute. That wraps up everything character customization in this blog post, but there's a whole lot more. Let's move on to a look at an entirely new mechanic in Hytale, a complete physics engine. Yup, you heard that right. The Hytale team finishes the blog post off with a showcase of their new throwable physics. Now, they have hinted at throwable objects previously with several screenshots, and that one pigeon video, when the pigeon throws the knife at the targets. What? You haven't seen that video? Hey, guys, they haven't seen the pigeon video. Yeah, I know, but they haven't seen it. The first clip the Hytale team provides is a small teaser of how combat will work with the primitive weapons. The weapon they show in this clip is the Hytale Spear. The Hytale team states, "Here's an example of the kind of accuracy you'll need to develop if you'd like to become a master of the throwing spear." Wow. As we take a look through that clip, we notice the player is in a deep forest in Zone 3, where they are practicing their accuracy with a spear with some handmade targets. You can hear the spear make a slight stretching noise as the player lifts back the spear and begins to throw. As the player nails the first target, we notice that the player is rewarded with a distant sound that lets you know that you hit the target. As the player hits the last target, you notice the same noise, but at a much lower volume, as the target was further away. Finally, the player walks through the forest to showcase that spears stuck into the targets, followed by a swinging noise at each target. Next, we are shown a clip where the player tosses a rock at a tree. Now, this won't make the same effect as the spear, where it would puncture the wood, but the rock simply just bounces off or breaks. Amazing! We see the physics used as the rock bounces off the trees and eventually off the ground. We see the player throwing the rock towards the first tree, and the rock bounces towards the left. Then the player tosses the rock towards the right tree, and it bounces off towards the right. Finally, the player throws the rock up high, and we see the rock bounce down onto multiple blocks. On the final ledge, we can see the rock rotate and give the impression of a rolling stop. This is what the Hytale team had to say regarding the rock clip. This is a very simple example of what we are hoping to achieve with these kinds of interactions. Physics systems and immersive audio help us to add depth and tactility to your actions, and over time, these small details add up to a much more believable game world. This opens up the possibility for improvised sporting events without needing modifications. It's not hard for us to imagine bowling these objects for a round of lawn bowls or ice hockey on a slippery surface. This is what makes Hytale such a great game, and why blog posts can tell us so much more than we think sometimes. Lastly, we are shown a clip that showcases poop. Yes, poop makes a reappearance in this blog post. When equipped, we get to see the charming animation of flies and stench fumes emanating from the manure before it is thrown in a grenade-like fashion at a player's face. The player on the receiving end animates to automatically rub their face, and the poop dissipates into the fine air. We are left wondering what it looks like to be on the other side of such a gesture. We can imagine a similar animation occurring for snowballs. Oh, the wars that will break out will be so much fun. Whew! Man, Hytale treated us this month, showing off some features we never knew we would have needed, but make the game seriously that much better. It's a breath of fresh air for game development. But we'd like to hear what you guys have to say. We're currently talking all things Hytale and this brand new blog post over on our Discord server. You can join below by clicking the link down in the description. With minimal pings and fresh news, it's a place you wouldn't want to miss out on. But that's all the news we've got for today. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you'd like to stay up to date on all things Hytale, you can follow our Twitter at HytaleNewsYT. We've got some exciting new content in the works, but if you have any suggestions or ideas, we'd love to know by giving us your feedback in the comments below. Once again, this is Rinthin, and we'll be seeing you soon for another Hytale News video.